So now onto our material creation. So let's open our landscape material over here. And yes, that is exactly what we are going to do. Now, this is going to be a very simple material, okay? It's not going to be something overly complex. I'm just going to walk you through a very simple process, like a very simple landscape material. Landscape materials are usually kind of difficult to make. So that's why well, that, and because this is a stylized scene, so I'm only going to be using solid colors. So let's do it. I think the most complex one is going to be the ground. So let's start with right-clicking and selecting our layer blend. Where is the layer blend? Here, landscape layer blend. This is going to be like our main, like meat and potatoes kind of thing. So let's go ahead and connect this to our base color and connect this to our runtime virtual texture output. Now, whenever you have something that you connect to the landscape master material that you want to be present in the virtual textures, you're going to use the output, right? So this outputs to a runtime virtual texture. Right, so the runtime virtual textures are important because most of the effects we're going to be using in our scene are going to be driven by the runtime virtual textures. That's why they're so important to get set up. So now, layer blend. You're gonna, our landscape is gonna have multiple layers that we're gonna paint on, and all of those layers are gonna be listed here. So let's add 4 layers. Let's have 4 layers. Each of these layers has a name, and they have a weight blend type, right? What we're going to do here is we're going to name each one. First one is going to be ground. Second one is going to be grass. The third one, and now these two are going to be sort of color variation layers. So we're going to have a grass dark, and we're going to have a grass darker. So it's darker than the previous one. Now let's just add a bunch of colors. So what I'm doing here is I'm pressing 3 in the number pad on top of the keyboard, and I am pressing 3 and left clicking. So this creates a vector 3. And now let's right click this and convert this to a parameter or parameter. And let's name this grass color. Good. Let's assign a group to this as well so that we have a very organized material instance later. Material instance is basically a copy of your material that can be edited in real time instead of having to compile it all the time. So base color is going to be the name of the group that this is going to be assigned to. So let's connect this, not to the ground, but to the grass. We're going to do the ground last since this is so easy to set up. So first, second, and third. I'm just going to copy and paste these because they will have the same group, so we don't need to set this up again. So we're going to go grass dark color, and we're going to name this grass darker color. And now we can assign a color to all these. Let's assign a very light one to this. Yeah, basically something like this. Grass dark. Let's connect everything. So we have everything neatly connected. So we can actually let me pull up some actual numbers, some good numbers. So for this one, let's get a 0.6, a 0.7, and a 0 for our blue, right? The second one, let's get a 0.13. This is only if you like following tutorials like this. I'm just trying something different. I usually don't just give you like specific values, but Yeah, why not? Let's see what comes out. And for our grass darker, these are the actual values in the scene, right? So let's get a 0.01. Let's also get a 0.16. Good. Now let's see how the thumbnails look. Very light, a bit darker, and darkest. Good. Good, good, good. This looks good. All right. Now what we're going to do is let's create a ground with a little bit of a variation based on our world position or the world space. So what we're going to do here is let's duplicate this and let's name this ground color 1, and let's copy it and paste it and name it ground color 2. Good. Now this one, let's go ahead and set this to 1 and 0.5. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks fine. And the second one, 0.8 and 0.4. How is this gonna look? Looks darker. Yes, nice. Now what we're gonna do is pass this through a lerp node, not this one. What I'm gonna do is press L on the keyboard and left click. Right, this is a lerp node. And connect this to the A and B. What does a lerp node do? Lerp is short for linear interpolation. Basically, it's gonna interpolate, so show one or show the other color. It's gonna interpolate both of these colors based on an alpha, based on a grayscale image. So whenever the grayscale image is black, it's gonna show 1, and whenever it's white, it's gonna show 2. So we don't have a mask yet, so let's make it. What I am going to be doing is I'm probably going to provide you with a uniform clouds mask. So, and I need to fetch that. So whenever we get to that part, I'll just cut and get it. So right now, what we need to do is get a position, world position. We're going to divide this by, and so how to do this? I press S, the S as in snake, and the keyboard, press and hold it, and I left click. So it creates a parameter for me. So this is going to be named ground mask size. I'm going to have the first letter lowercase. Right, so the ground mask size, let's put this at 2000. Basically what's going on here is that we're controlling how much the absolute world position tiles, how much our mask is going to tile across our landscape. And we don't want the height, we just want the X and Y. So the U and V coordinates, because this is going to be plugged into the UV of our uniform clouds. How do we do that? We've done it before. We're going to get a mask component mask, and it's already set up. Remember the R, G, and B, X, Y, and Z. So the U and V in UV unwrapping and UV for 3D basically corresponds to the R and G channels. So these are the two that we need. And we're going to connect this to a texture sample. This is going to be our uniform clouds that I still need to get because I haven't gotten them. So let me just cut a bit. I'll get them and import them to our scene, our project.